My name's Kyle and I'm a recovering addict.
I'm Chris. I'm Kyle's mom. My addiction is being a codependent.
I started using drugs at a really young age. When I was 7, I started smoking weed, and it kind of progressed. And by the time I was 14 years old, I was a full-blown heroin addict. I started hanging out with a lot of different girls, and I had a girlfriend that when I was 16, I ended up getting pregnant. And after that, I had this addiction in my life, and I also had this child that was going to be coming into my life. And I couldn't see myself living with drugs and alcohol in my life, and I couldn't see myself living without them. And death didn't really seem like that bad of an option, except for I had a child that was coming. So I didn't know really where to go. So having really good parents growing up, I decided that I would go and talk to them and tell them exactly what was going on. And they had dealt with a situation similar to mine, not as bad, but with my brother who had gone to a program and got clean. So by the time I was 16, I went to the first rehab, but I went to that program and it didn't work. So I went to another program and that didn't work. So then I started talking to doctors with medication and counselors and rehabs, and it was like nothing was working.
When Kyle was in drugs and everything and really having a hard time, and I kept trying, and my husband kept trying to do things to help him and to make him better, and trying to just fix it. And my problem is, or my addiction is, being a codependent. And I am very controlling. I like to control every problem, all my family's problems, all my friends' problems, everybody's. And when I'm not in control, I feel out of control. As you heard, Kyle, he was in 7 different programs. And we had refinanced our house. I mean, we did everything. We were trying to fix him. Well, we found out that we were powerless and that our lives were unreasonable and we just couldn't go on any longer. And we found that through Celebrate Recovery that we are not God. And we realized this, that we cannot do anything. And until I did surrender my son and myself to him, then I kept doing things that just pulled us down more.
By the time my son was about 4, I was downstairs in my parents' house, and it was Thanksgiving. I remember all the family was upstairs having a good time, and I was downstairs just trying to get high because that's how I felt whole. And I just got done getting high, and my son was knocking on the door, and I was trying to put everything away and telling him to go away. I was like, just go away. I'll be out in a minute. Everything's fine. And he just wouldn't go away. So finally, when he opened the door, he's like, Dad, I don't want to see you die. I want you to quit doing this. And I didn't realize that he even knew what was going on. He's just a little kid. How could he know that his dad was addicted to drugs? So I closed the door and I fell to my knees and I started crying out to God. And I was like, everybody tells me about you and how you want to have a relationship with me and how you love me. And if you're real, I want you to show up right now and just show me who you really are. And after I got done crying, I got up and, I went to my parents and I was like, we've tried all these rehabs and I've tried medication and I've went to the doctor and I don't want this addiction in my life anymore. What do I do? And we found a place called Rocky Mountain Teen Challenge that's in Colorado. It was Christian-based. It was about God and getting a relationship with God. And, through the course of going through that program, it was a year long, I decided that I had a call to actually go and go to school. I got a degree in theology and psychology, and I started working at Rocky Mountain Teen Challenge. The next year, after working there, a neighboring church to us that we used to go to asked me to come and fill in as head pastor until they found one. I lived out there for quite a while as a youth pastor, since moved back to Utah. have an amazing life out here now. Me and my son are really, really tight. And there's this program, Celebrate Recovery, which, people, not just with drug addiction or alcoholism or whatever, they come to, whether they have problems with money or pornography or, just have a really hard time being a codependent person. And the one thing that sets Celebrate Recovery aside from all those other programs is that it's Christ-based. And I know in my heart, I've tried everything in this world that they offer, that the only thing that will ever help you with any problem in your life is Jesus. And that's why I go to Celebrate Recovery.
God's the one that changes your feelings, your mind, all your addictions and everything. And you learn to trust Him with everything you do. And He helps you see how He is working all around you. And in Celebrate Recovery, you have hope. And the hope is not alone. You're not alone in it. God's with you. And the group, you become like a family. And I love it because what's said there stays there. It's a place that you can feel safe. And you find that there's a lot of people that are hurting just like you are and have gone through the same thing you've gone through. And so you relate to them more than somebody that you don't think has gone through. We all have hurts, hang-ups, and habits. And God has made this program. I truly believe God has made this program for all of us. And He's the one that's going to be our Savior in them, because He is our Savior.